Where is Susie Sheep's dad? We think we found him. There is a question that has been sitting in the background of Peppa Pig for years, quietly, patiently, waiting for someone to take it seriously. Where is Susie Sheep's dad? Susie has been Peppa's best friend since the very beginning. We have met her mom. We have seen her grandmother. We have watched her cousin Charlotte show up for a visit. The sheep side of this family has been documented across hundreds of episodes. And in all of that time, across all of those appearances, her father has never once been shown. No photo on the wall, no mention of his name, no offhand comment about where he is or what he does or when he might be coming home. Most viewers accepted this without question. Susie's dad just does not exist in the show. Simple as that. But nothing in the show is simple. And today we are going through every theory. The heartbreaking ones, the bizarre ones, the ones that sound completely ridiculous until you actually look at the evidence to figure out where Susie Sheep's father really is. We are starting with the one that hurts the most, because sometimes the simplest explanation is the right one. Theory 1. The truth. Mr. Sheep and Mummy. Sheep separated. It happens. It happened to them. Susie was young enough that she does not carry clear memories of a time when things were different. There are no photos on the wall because putting them up is complicated. His name does not come up in conversation because some subjects are easier to leave alone than to explain to a child who is still figuring out the world. The episode Susie Goes Away supports this reading more than any other. Mummy Sheep receives a job offer that would take her and Susie abroad. She is visibly emotional when it falls through. Far more emotional than a straightforward career disappointment would seem to warrant. Some fans read that reaction as something deeper, not a professional opportunity lost, but a chance at physical closeness to someone now living in another country. A co-parenting arrangement that spans an ocean and never quite works the way either of them hoped it would. No magic, no conspiracy, no classified files. Just a family that looked different from the one on the outside of the house, and a little girl who learned early not to ask certain questions out loud. It is the least dramatic theory on this list. It is also the one that probably applies to the most people watching. Theory 2. The Italian connection. This next theory begins with a holiday and ends with a family secret that spans 2 countries. In the episode Holiday in the Sun, Peppa's family travels to Italy and stays at a charming rental property managed by a cheerful, welcoming character called Mr. Goat. He is a single father raising his daughter Gabriella entirely on his own. Warm, attentive, clearly devoted, and completely alone in that role, with no partner anywhere in the picture. Susie Sheep does not appear in this episode. She stays home. She and Mr. Goat never share a scene. But here is what fans noticed. Susie and Gabriella are the same age. Both are being raised by a single parent. Both are missing the other parent entirely with no explanation offered. And in real biology, sheep and goats are closely related enough that the connection is not as absurd as it initially sounds. The theory is this: Mummy Sheep and Mr. Goat were once together. At some point, the relationship ended. She returned to England with Susie. He remained in Italy with Gabriella, 2 children from the same family, raised on opposite sides of Europe, growing up without ever knowing the other exists, which means Peppa's best friend and the Italian girl she met on holiday are sisters. And nobody, not Peppa, not Susie, not Gabriella, has any idea. Theory 3. The Spy. What if Susie's father is not gone at all? What if he is simply somewhere he cannot talk about? This theory proposes that Mr. Sheep is an active, undercover operative working for the British government on assignments that prevent him from maintaining a visible family life. His absence is not abandonment, it is classified. The evidence is subtle but consistent. In the episode where Susie imagines her future, she pictures herself flying aircraft across distant countries and working in locations far from home. Most children imagine futures rooted in their immediate world, being a doctor in their own town, running a shop on a familiar street. Susie's imagination goes global. She sees herself moving, traveling, operating across borders. Children often model their ambitions on the parent they most want to understand. Then there are the anchor symbols on Susie's pajamas in that same episode. The anchor is worn elsewhere in the show by characters with confirmed naval and maritime histories. Sea captains, explorers, figures who spend long stretches away from home on official business. The detail is small enough that most viewers skip right past it, but it is there, and it connects Susie visually to a world of long-distance service that her father may have come from. The episode Susie Goes Away adds another layer. Mummy Sheep receives a job offer that would take her and Susie abroad. She is visibly emotional when it falls through, more emotional than a career disappointment would seem to warrant. Some fans read that reaction as something else entirely, a chance to close a distance that has been open for a very long time. If Mr. Sheep is on a classified assignment, Mummy Sheep's silence makes complete sense. You do not discuss what you are not permitted to discuss? You raise your daughter, you answer her questions as carefully as you can, and you wait. Theory 4. The narrator. He has been in every single episode. You have heard his voice hundreds of times, and you have never once seen his face. What if the narrator of Peppa Pig is Susie Sheep's dad? Stay with us, because this goes deeper than it sounds. The narrator is omniscient. He knows exactly what every character is thinking, feeling, and about to do. He is present for every adventure, every argument, every quiet moment in every household across the entire town. He sees everything, he knows everything, and he exists entirely outside the frame. Present but invisible, connected but unreachable. Sound familiar? That is exactly what Susie's dad is. Present but invisible. Connected but unreachable. Now look at a specific moment in the episode Pedro's cough. Susie visits Pedro in hospital and says something that stops you cold if you are paying attention. She tells the other children that sick people sleep a lot, not in a childlike way. In the way a child repeats something an adult told them to help them make sense of a situation they did not fully understand. Some fans believe Susie's dad is seriously ill. Others believe he passed away. Either interpretation produces the same image: a father who can no longer be physically present in his daughter's life. But what if he found another way to stay close? What if the only way he can still watch over Susie, still be part of her world, still make sure her story gets told, is to become the voice that narrates it? In a universe where time travel happens in elevators and Santa Claus makes house calls, a father watching over his daughter as the unseen narrator of her life is not the strangest thing this show has ever asked us to accept. Theory 5. No male sheep exist. Here is something you probably never registered consciously but cannot unsee once it is pointed out. There are no male sheep anywhere in Peppa Pig. Every sheep character the show has introduced is female. Mummy Sheep, Grandma Sheep, Cousin Charlotte, Susie herself. An entire extended family with no male members represented at any generational level. This launched one of the more unusual theories in the fandom. Drawing on the real-world history of Dolly the sheep, the first mammal, cloned from an adult cell who lived in the United Kingdom, the same country where Peppa Pig is set. Some fans proposed that the sheep characters in the show are not a natural family at all. They are the product of a scientific process that does not require a father, which would explain not just Susie's missing dad, but the complete absence of any male sheep anywhere in the show's entire run. It is a strange theory, but the complete absence of male sheep is a genuinely strange detail for a show this meticulously constructed. Theory 6. Santa Claus. We know how this sounds. Give us 60 seconds. Santa Claus is not a legend in the Peppa Pig universe. He is a confirmed, documented, on-screen character who visits homes and delivers gifts. He is as real in this world as Daddy Pig or Dr. Brown Bear. His existence is not up for debate. Now look at Susie's toys. Across multiple episodes, Susie shows up with gifts that are noticeably more impressive than what the other children have. A toy speedboat, high-end sporting equipment, things that stand out in a group of children whose parents have ordinary jobs and ordinary budgets. Nobody ever questions where these things come from. Susie never explains them, they just appear. Then look at Susie's personality. She is confident in a way that feels almost otherworldly. She has an invisible friend named Leo who she treats as completely real. She speaks about her future with total certainty, as if she already knows things will work out. There is a magical quality to her character that the show never directly addresses. The theory is straightforward. Susie's father is Santa Claus. The relationship was kept quiet. His identity was never made public. But he watches from a distance and sends extraordinary gifts when he can, because it is the only fatherly thing he is in a position to do. Susie does not believe in Santa the way the other children do. She does not need to. He is her dad. One question, 6 answers. None of them confirmed. All of them plausible. A quiet separation that left a gap nobody talks about. A secret Italian family split across borders. A father too classified to come home. A ghostly narrator watching from outside the frame. A family that never needed a father to exist. Or a man delivering impossible gifts from the North Pole. Susie Sheep smiles through every episode. She is bossy and funny and completely herself, and somewhere behind that smile is a question she has probably learned not to ask out loud. Where is my dad? We still do not know for certain. But at least now, neither do you. Which theory do you believe? Drop it in the comments and subscribe for more deep dives into the secrets hiding inside this show.